Okay, doing more quotes from the Holy Grail of Wisdom quotes by me, Pete Rogers. This is James Hollis. He's a Jungian psychologist, and he has a few things to say about getting older. He says, the goal of life is not happiness, which is only transiently possible, but meaning which abides. In the second half of life, the real questions become, what apart from the roles you play are you? What does your soul ask of you? Do you have the wherewithal to shift course, to deconstruct your painfully achieved identity, risking failure, marginalization, and loss of collective approval? No small task. Okay, so what he's basically saying is, we're all stuck doing things that we just have to do, family obligations, job obligations, whatever. But he says, evaluate your life before it's too late and figure out what do you want to do with the time that you have left. Because we all have limited time, and most of us, we have to work a lot in jobs. And it's just how it is. So just give it some thought, because otherwise you might reach a point where it's too late to do anything different. Okay, he says, we are meaning-seeking, meaning-creating creatures. Where we experience loss of meaning, we suffer. Yeah, and that's a common thing people experience in their job. If they begin to feel their job is kind of stupid, they'd like to do something else, but a lot of times that something else doesn't pay any money. So it's just how it is. When we experience a loss of meaning, we suffer. Yeah, so you don't want to take meaning away from somebody. So even if I think somebody's doing something stupid, but they're happy and it's not hurting them, I don't say anything. I don't want to make them sad for no reason. Unless, they got a good option to do something else, and a lot of times they don't. Okay, Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr. So he's the father. He was a physician and a poet in the early 1800s. His son, Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr., he became a Supreme Court justice, and he fought in the Civil War. So he's the younger one. Junior is the younger one. Okay, so senior. He says, some people are so heavenly minded that they are no earthly good. And I would also say, yeah, in Christianity, one of the reasons why I like Catholicism so much better than Protestantism is a little bit too much Bible thumping of this will happen in heaven. It's like we don't know exactly what's going to happen in heaven, okay? We know about heaven and stuff, but what I'm trying to say is Christianity can do a tremendous amount to make life better here on earth. And we don't want to waste our time arguing about dogma that's never going to be resolved. Let's make the most of our time here on life and help each other. Okay, next quote. Many people die with their music still in them. Why is this so? Too often it is because they are always getting ready to live, and before they know it, time runs out. Yeah, if you want to do something, you want to write a book or you want to visit an old friend, do it before it's too late. There is no friend like an old friend. Okay, Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr. continues. Even a dog knows the difference between being kicked and being stumbled over. That's what always amazes me, how stupid most Christians are. They don't even understand the system hates you. It hates your guts. And then they think like, oh, I'm being a jerk by saying that. No, it's obvious. If somebody poisons your water, that's not an accident. Just because they say it's good for your teeth, that doesn't mean it wasn't done on purpose. And then they put aluminum in it to make you demented and the fluoride to lower your IQ. That's not an accent to make you docile and stupid. It's because they don't like you, because they want you to be a tame little stupid lapdog, okay? They don't want you to be strong and smart and confident and articulate, okay? If somebody does that in your sky with the trails of chem, they don't do it because they like you. They do it because they hate you. They do it because they're trying to destroy your country. Get that through your head and stop being a passive sheep chump. Okay, let us continue. He says, do not be bullied out of your common sense by a specialist. 2-to-1 odds, he is a pedant. So what that means is most so-called experts on the internet, on TV, they're all fake, okay? For example, the Harvard chief of internal medicine doesn't know what causes high blood pressure, diabetes, atherosclerosis. He's a joke, okay? And I just said Harvard. It could be any of the Ivy League schools. Conventional medicine, internal medicine, does not know the common diseases that it treats all day because it doesn't know nutrition, it doesn't know toxicology, and it doesn't know epidemiology. Those are the three most important things. You could teach somebody in one day of watching videos about nutrition, epidemiology, toxicology, like at my website, for example, more than they would learn in an entire pre-med, medical school, and residency. All they're taught is how to sell drugs. So what I'm trying to say is, don't take them that seriously. Sometimes they'll know something useful, fine, you can benefit from them, but don't think that they routinely know what they're talking about. They actually usually don't. Okay, the next one. Talent is a very common family trait, whereas genius belongs to individuals. Just as you find one giant or one dwarf in a family, but you rarely find a whole brood of either one. Yeah, what I said, the best definition of genius is a genius is somebody who transforms their field. Okay, somebody who not only is an expert but can rewrite the topic. That's what a genius does. Okay, like Isaac Newton, in his study of gravity and physics. Okay, and optics. The world is always ready to receive talent with open arms, but it very often does not know what to do with the genius. Yeah, in academic careers, they hate the genius because he rewrites the field, and all of them are like, oh crap, we got to relearn all this stuff. Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. So this is the son who fought in the Civil War and then was a Supreme Court justice for many years. He said, the very aim and end of our institutions is just this, that we may think what we like and say what we think. The history of intellectual growth and discovery clearly demonstrates the need for unfettered freedom, the right to think the unthinkable, to discuss the unmentionable, and to challenge the unchallengeable. To curtail free expression strikes twice at intellectual freedom, for whoever deprives another of the right to state unpopular views necessarily also deprives the others of the right to listen to those views. Yeah, free speech is very important. It's the key to freedom. That's why you should fight for it. That's why when somebody tells you, rules about misinformation, they're assholes, okay? And anybody saying they're trying to correct misinformation, what they're really trying to do is perform censorship. And so you should not like them or trust them. You should be very skeptical of them. To be a master of any branch of knowledge, you must master those that lie next to it. And thus, to know anything, you must know all. Well, you just need to know the fields next to it. Like if you want to understand the common Western diseases, you need to know epidemiology, nutrition, and toxicology because those are the three most important components of it. Okay, the main part of an intellectual education is not the acquisition of facts, but learning how to make the facts live. It's a little bit like Schopenhauer saying, facts don't really matter. What matters is insight, something you can use that knowledge and information. Oliver Wendell Holmes continues, young men know the rules, but they do not know the exception. It's old men know the exceptions. To think great thoughts, you must be heroes and idealists. Yeah, that's why you need Christianity. It tells you life is meaningful, we can be a creator like God, and then you can think about things that go beyond yourself, your family, and your co-ethnics that affect all mankind. And that's what Christianity does, among many other good things. Okay, and then, Oliver Wendell Holmes, the Supreme Court Justice, also got himself into some bad business. He got involved in the eugenics. Eugenics used to be very popular in the United States. And they would sterilize people who they thought were like mentally retarded and stuff. And he participated in that too. That was considered normal. Okay, in the United States, that was a big thing in the early 1900s. Okay, that's it for today. Hope you found that helpful.